Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Illustrious Ones Monday morning show with Erin Strayer, and I'm Jen Weatherly. I'd like to welcome Erin to the show.
Hey! Happy New Year!
Happy New Year. Yes. And so everybody go ahead and grab a cup of coffee because we've both got one, or tea, whatever you're drinking.
I got a bag in mine today.
Yes, and it's our first show of the brand new year, so it's exciting for me. I'm lit up because I have so many ideas and so much cool stuff's been happening, so I'm just excited.
So good. It's so good. I know. You took a big old hiatus just before the holidays, and you came back for a week or so, and then I was gone for a big old hiatus.
Mhm. Yes, I do that. We do that.
I know somebody was talking to me over the weekend via Messenger, and they're like, "You took 2 weeks off," and I said, that was my goal. That was my goal, to take the last 2 weeks of December off this year.
Mhm.
Coming into working for myself, I had a big goal that I was going to take every Friday off. Like, I just didn't want to work Fridays. I didn't need to. We'll figure it out. And as that evolved, and that's been pretty consistent, I'm like, I'm going to take the last 2 weeks of December off too. And so this year I got to do it.
Yes.
So I'm like supporting the bags this morning.
Fabulous.
Yeah, I had a light work week last week. Like, I was working like Wednesday, Thursday, Friday last week ish. And hitting it hard this week. So
Oh yeah, I know. And that's the thing. Like I even cleaned up my office, dusted everything, and really prepared for having a really great week. Staying on task, keeping things scheduled because I'm not very good at that. So I'm trying to be way better at it.
yeah.
But this morning we got woken up by this big old truck in our driveway at 5 a.m. And of course, my dog, I mean, she's totally made cameos on many of my videos, and she's a loud barker, right? And so she's barking, and it's 5 o'clock, and I'm looking out the window, and this big old Suburban's pulling out, and I'm like, okay. So, you're like, okay, the angels have woken me up, and I got to get up, and telling myself these ridiculous stories about why that truck was in my driveway, and and so my husband gets up and he gets on with his day, but of course I go back to bed and wake up at a normal time, and it wasn't angels. It was it was the Amazon delivery for my new book order.
At 5 a.m.?
Yeah. Who does that?
That's
anyway,
funny.
I got 2 new books because this year for me, well, it's a lot about making money, not in the greed kind of way, but in a strategic way of actually making money. So it's like, a course for my brain on actually how to plan and, execute and all that shit. So part of that is content creation for me. So a lot of writing and really digging in and really understanding how to create really great content. So I picked up the Stephen King on writing. And this was suggested by a book mentor out of Montreal. And he said that this book talks to you about, how to define your sentences without getting run-on sentences when it's long enough, when you've kind of made your point and you can just shut it down. And from Stephen King, I mean, he's so well written, so famous, blockbuster. I don't know if I'm too terrified to ever even read or watch anything Stephen writes.
I know.
So if it's campy and I can do it, but I'm a big free cat, so it's a big no for me. But he's a writer, right? So we got to
brilliant, right?
Yes.
Yeah, brilliant. Yeah.
And the next book that I got, just one more. It's called Building, sorry, now my lighting's all a little bit crazy, and over there. Okay, by Donald Miller, Building a Brand Story.
Ooh.
Now, this one was suggested in Mandy Helgren's feed because she was asking what are you guys reading right now? I need more books to order. And I had some conversations with people in that thread, and one of the ladies that I don't know, she just came, she had all these great book ideas. And I was like, oh my gosh, what is she reading? So I just kept asking, what are you reading now? And anyway, she said that she had just read this one and loved it. So yeah, I can't wait to dig into that, because really creating that brand story is epically monumental when you want to, like, shoot through the ceiling that you're already currently, you're currently in. You want to go through that, and you want to build a great story, be able to tell it, be able to just live it out your words. So that's what I'm working on.
Yeah, and how cool is it that you can have that, we get to have good morning, Sharon, get to have those conversations and keep, for lack of a better word, pick their brains, right? Like, what are you doing? What's going on? Oh my gosh, I love this. I love the line of books that you're reading. I love what you're getting up. You know what I mean? Because so many people in there, and not that they're bad, but so many people read, like, you are a badass, and you are a badass, and believe me, I love her, and the Dare to Dream, and like all of those. But some of those books, those two books right there that you have, like, are very intentional and very on purpose and very like in line with what you are doing and what you're creating right now. And that's monumental. Like, those conversations and those that lead to relationship building, like, you probably could tap that lady now for just about anything and just like run into a conversation, and now you have a new contact.
Yeah. And I didn't friend her, but yeah, I really like being able to just have these like straight up conversations with people that are doing like really epic things in their lives. And even if we just get to like take a little snippet just for a little bit, and just explore and expand it, and then that's it. That's all we, because sometimes your only friends or Facebook, conversations just last for a short time, or or maybe they last for quite a bit longer. So yeah, I just appreciate them wherever they come, whenever they come, and I just kind of capitalize on them too, right? I want to know. And I do have a very good list of books. I've been writing down every single book, every single one of you have mentioned over the last year. And so I will be publishing that in a blog in the Illustrious Ones very soon.
Cool. Hey, yeah. Sharon missed the books that you were talking about.
Yes. Yep. Building a Brand Story by, Donald Miller and Stephen King. Frick with this camera. Stephen King on Writing, a memoir of the craft. Yeah. And that's the one that I think his name is Antonio Andre. He mentioned that one of the best things that you can do to actually become a book writer. The first one was like get into the mindset. Second one was read a good book on actually how to write. And the third one was journal, get to know who you are. So, yeah.
Yeah. And, those are all three super, super intentional action steps, right? And I know, Sharon, you were on my list to talk about this morning. She doesn't even know it. She doesn't even know it, because I put a post in the group, I don't know, a couple of days ago about what your 2019 word of the year was. Like, have you set the intention and declared it for 2019? And Sharon's word was consistent action. She had two words. So consistent by itself is awesome. Yeah. Action by itself is awesome. Yeah. But like, she's combined the two, right? Like, and then she asked, she's like, hey, do you have any tips? How do you apply consistent action into your business? And I'm like, we got you covered, girl. Like, in my head, I'm like, we got you covered. Because those intentional words, the words that you set for yourself personally that trickle into your business, because let's face it, it's one and the same.
Yeah.
Majority of us work from our homes. We live in our homes. We have our families in our homes. we do everything in our homes, right? And so how can they be separate, really? So to set those that consistent action, Sharon, we're just gonna throw you right there and like hop on it.
Yeah.
And I know for me, what I do is that consistent action is just knowing that if you're doing one thing every single day for yourself and your business, that's intentional, consistent action. So that's going forward. If that's getting up at the same time and being in your office at the same time every single morning, that's consistent action, right? Like I know one day last week on my, this is funny, on my light work week, my boss was a little mad because I was late to work. Hello, boss. You know, but for me, I'm in my office on point by 9 a.m. Actually, I'm usually in my office at 8, cleaning up my email, checking that, responded to messages, like getting that stuff out of the way so that when my appointments start at 9, I'm on task. I'm not distracted. I'm like, oh man, I didn't clean up my email. Oh man, I didn't do my messages. Oh man, I didn't send so-and-so, a reminder that we're going to be on my Zoom room in 15 minutes. Crap, right? Like I take care of that. I'm offline for the majority of people, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I'm set and I'm ready to go by 9. Like that's intentional. That's consistent. That's action. That's going forward. I don't know, setting goals. That's kind of like an overused, kind of watered down version of really digging deep. And I know we're going to get into Beth Bryce's like intentional goal setting and strategies. And Sharon, Beth Bryce is in our group. We're going to talk about her too. She doesn't know it either. And what goes on for her and how she sets her year up to succeed. And Jen, I know you wanted to take that. You got to throw them in the feed for Sharon. She says she's up for it, but she's got like all these scary faces.
I know. Well, Sharon, I'm with you actually, because my schedule is, I sort of get down to my office at 9 and I don't have I'm not time blocked. That really throws me off because I like the freedom of being able to create, but I'll just do that. I'll just work for myself, make my own stuff and then cram my clients' work into the smallest amount of time, and that doesn't work. So I need to have the rhythm, and I get it. It's going to be a challenge for me too. But I think that if I just block it out, it'll be fine, and I'll just say, oh, okay, the clock has told me that I need to do something different now. Yeah, me and time, time is irrelevant to me. So, but it's not I have. There are certain things that need to get done by certain times. So.
I know. At some point in time, the kids need to be fed.
Yeah.
I don't really care about me because I'm never hungry, but the kids are hungry, right? That gets to get done. My husband can take care of himself.
Yeah, well, the kids need to get picked up from the bus and the meetings need to get met. And so I'm just yeah, okay, time is relevant, but not exactly. Yeah. I don't know. I don't even know what to say about that.
And Jen's programmed way different than I am. I am very strict with my time and my time blocking, and I do XYZ every single time. And this is how much time it's allotted for. And everything is very structured for me because that's my makeup. That's my cellular makeup. Jen's not that way. So I don't know how you're structured, Sharon, and what makes you tick, but there has to be a balance there because I need some time in my uber over the top structured life to be able to have that time for creativity. Oh my gosh, Franco, hi, Happy New Year. He's like, wait, we need to feed the kids. Happy New Year, friend.
Happy New Year.
It's been a while since we've seen you. I've been in a hibernation myself. It's probably really me. But finding that balance and finding yes, I need some structure in my life in order for my creativity to function at peak capacity, or yes, I need some creativity in my life in order for my structure to continue. So there needs to be some balance there between hardcore structure and just free flowing, let it all go. It'll get done when it needs to. The watch anyway.
Yeah, well, and you know what? When Beth, so Beth put out this post on her, I think her own personal feed, but that she had printed a book of her year, what it was going to look like. And I was like, what? And she had scheduled it. Okay, this is the end of the year goal. This is what I want to be able to accomplish in this year. And then she did it down by the quarter and then to the month. And then she was able to schedule her days out. So I was like, wow, okay, so that is just serious action because she knows where she's going. So she can actually say, okay, well, this is what I'm going to be doing, in January, February, and March. So the first quarter, and then what is going to happen the second quarter and third and fourth. And then when you can actually take that and then break that down, you're like, oh, okay, hold on a second. I have to do this, this, and this these months. And that for me is, I've never looked at it from the year perspective and then broken it down into the months. And I know that I'm probably just way behind on the game because I think other people do this quite well. I'm just one of those free spirits that's just like, well, I'll do this and I need to learn that. And it's just, that doesn't work. And I've seen it again and again that like, if you want to make, leaps and bounds, it has to be a structured thing where you know where you're going. It doesn't, leaps and bounds don't happen because you're like, on a whim, decide that you're going to do something one day. The leaps and bounds come from actually having the structure and knowing what you'll be doing, and then really crunching it down into the days. Okay, so now the time block comes in.
Yeah. And
how much am I writing?
She takes it a step farther and she actually, she takes an entire day and plans it out. And then she prints it and binds it.
Yeah.
And it's like, it takes putting yourself on your calendar to that maximum other next level. Like, okay, cool. I put myself on my calendar. That means I'm as important as all the rest of my appointments and the doctor and picking up the kids. Right. And taking the dog to the vet and going and taking dinner to whoever. Right. Like whatever's on your schedule, you're now part of your schedule and you're important. Beth takes it to the massive next level and actually puts it on paper. A lot of us plan it out.
Yeah.
A lot of us do.
Yeah.
Or have those ginormous year-long whiteboards in our offices that are really pretty cool. I don't have the wall. I probably have the wall space for that, but
I might need to because
I know they make them and they're really, really cool. So you can see them all the time. It's a year in advance. If you're doing launches or whatever you're doing, you can actually put that on your whiteboard and have it right where you can see it a year at a time. It's one thing to have, I have a big desk calendar that actually hangs on my wall in front of me, month at a view, right? And that's pretty important to me. But if you could see a year at a view and go in and put colored sticky notes on your year at a view for when you're going to launch and how you need 3 months to launch something. So if you're just going to hip shot it and go, I'm going to throw this out there today, it's probably going to fall flat.
Yeah. Yeah. It's so true. And, I took a course, Zone of Genius, I think it was called, by Badassery. And going up to a launch, it was sort of you had to be able to prime your audience. Stuff I never thought about, priming your audience by dropping different blogs about sort of around the topic, just getting their interest going in it. And I was like, holy shit, I had just never thought of so much stuff that had come out of there. So and my plans are really fucking huge. Excuse my language. They're enormous. And so if they're enormous, how I really need to strategize that to make sure that I can actually pull it off.
Mhm.
Because I don't, at the end of the year, want to fall short of even as long as I accomplish what I want to accomplish, that's definitely important. It
Mhm.
needs to come out so I can make room for the next wave of stuff that wants to come through, and it's important.
Yeah, I'm going to catch up on Sharon's comments here. She
Yes.
says, some of them are pretty long. I'm not going to put them on the screen. I have an executive planner that I use for blocking time. I usually am pretty good at my tasks. I would say mine's a little more fluid than Erin's, but always have an overview of what's happening in my day.
Perfect.
Perfect.
Nice, Sharon.
Any suggestions for marketing? Again, from Sharon. I get stuck there as well. And so I've gotten kind of stagnant with my message and how to attract new clients. Ooh, Jen,
Yeah.
that's right up your alley.
Yeah. So Sharon, do you have a website? I guess that's the first question. So okay, because you can do some paid marketing. It's called SEM. You can have SEO plugin put into your website if you have like a WordPress website. I like using all-in-one SEO, and that way, Google, you can send in a Google map like once a month, so they know that you're there. It tells them that you're there. It lets them crawl your pages, and then so everything that you're putting in there. They're constantly looking for new content. So that blogging feature, hopefully, maybe you're utilizing it. I'm just getting to the point of utilizing blogging features. So I get how involved it is. But when you've got that rhythm already set up, then you can switch on Google AdWords, or it's called SEM. Uh, and that way you can, just pay for some keywords so that you're actually showing up where you really do want to show up. And it's not all the time. It's, intermittent. And then you weave in a couple, maybe Facebook ads, and then you're driving more traffic, and you've got these different angles of traffic. And then you also have Pinterest, which is huge, and I'm still trying to monopolize on that one. Yeah, and then that way, getting your board set up and pinning will bring a lot of traffic in, and that's a huge one for. And I think you did the post, Sharon, about you were pulling cards or something, I believe, in the group. But Sharon's been dropping lots of really great posts, and so I can. Your message is definitely on. So just keep doing what you're doing. But don't rely on Facebook. Maybe some Facebook ads, but yeah, Facebook it's a weird one, isn't it, guys?
She says no website. She's still having to stay with more organic methods, but she does have a Facebook business page that I've been what's that word?
Oh,
Resuscitating.
oh yeah, yeah.
You've been doing CPR on it.
Yeah. Well, and Facebook is okay. So Google is the biggest search engine, but Facebook's the next. So as long you always have to have a Facebook business page for sure if you have a business. Yeah, it's just what do you do, Sharon? I don't know. I know you put out a lot of enlightened messages, and but it's always difficult if you're like a healer. I kind of have a feeling you're in the healer kind of zone. But if that's the case, and it's always really difficult to invest in a website when you are, you're the healer thing is it's not always lucrative. So I understand like where a website wouldn't even make sense to do that. But what I've also seen is a lot of people investing in social 22 social, where they drive a lot of traffic to a paid membership inside of their Facebook. Well, they call it a fan page, but it's the business page. So you can either do that, or then you can just scooch them over to a group that has been paid for. Now, that is a really great way to create a membership and still, monetize your knowledge without even investing in a website. So that may be another route for you.
Yeah. And Jen, you've been setting those pages up quite regularly for your clients.
Yep.
So Sharon, I'd suggest if you want some insight on that to reach out to Jen and have a little chit chat with Jen and see what that looks like for you. She said she's been told that Instagram would be a great platform as well. Yeah, the difference between Pinterest and Instagram, Pinterest is a standalone search engine. So much like Chrome or any of the other search engines, Google is a search engine, right? Like that's a search engine. Pinterest is a search engine, meaning that you put your post up there and it's there and reoccurring like forever. Like it doesn't disappear. Where like Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube is YouTube considered as a standalone search engine? Do you know?
It's part of Google. Google owns it.
Google does own it. Yep.
And Facebook owns Instagram.
Yep.
And yeah, and it does, it gets lost in the feed. However, Instagram just, I don't know if it's new. I love Instagram, but now you can follow different hashtags, which is fun for me. I love travel and stuff. So I follow all of that, and people are constantly using these different hashtags. So pick a hashtag, like boundaries is really popular. And because I think that like you're in that realm. But anyways, if you have anything to do with like just, yeah, you can hop into there and then you get a lot of different traction and a lot of people follows. But I don't know how much business you actually get through Instagram. I've heard some people get really great business, and then some of us is just more for fun.
Yeah.
But
that's what I've heard too.
You can link them, and everything you post to Instagram also goes onto your Facebook business page. So that's what I do. So I'm doing double duty with it. And I'm like, I'm kind of covered in both spaces.
Now, do you do that through 22 Social or repurpose.io, or what do you?
No, just Instagram. Because you can switch it on to Facebook. You can automatically do it to Twitter, but it doesn't share the image. So that's no fun, right? Because we're quite graphic in nature, especially when we're on Instagram, even on Facebook. But so the Twitter one, you would have to go and put yourself. I don't fuck Twitter.
I have a Twitter account. I can't even tell you the last time I was on Twitter. I have an Instagram account, but I'm not an Instagram girl. And it just depends, Sharon, where you think your target market lives and hangs out. So she says she's an intuitive energy cleaner, but I call myself a metamorphosis coach, where I'm able to guide others through the process of getting back to their own inner essence to get them through the crap of the lies that they've been living with. Super cool.
Okay, because I've just set up a Facebook membership for a psychic over in Ontario. And so the purpose of her group was just healing through grief and also kind of moving on in your life. So that's what her group's going to be about. It's very niche and specific. And so is yours. So, I mean, there's nothing to say that metamorphosis thing, like we're always moving through these changes. And so I can definitely see that being a great membership. And you would definitely have to do a lot of sales. So, getting your message down. And anyways, I can keep going on that one.
Yeah, it's cool though, and to realize, I know the kind of the intuitive spiritual realm is, and the coaches and the practitioners, and they're very attracted to you in the way that you design and set things up. And quite honestly, probably 50% of my coaching clients also are in the intuitive spiritual energy field of some sort. I'm 50-50 on that. I have my hardcore high-end executive business people, and then I have what I call my spiritual energy healers. And it's right down the middle on mine. And it's neat that she likes the word transform better. Huh, cool. I like that. But I like the metamorphosis. It makes me think of butterflies.
Yeah.
And like going in and making the changes and coming out something else. And
Well, and it's painful too when you're doing it. Like, oh my God, it hurts so bad. So, like the support that you need when you're going through that the shit
mm-hmm.
Is so like you actually need support. Like you really, really do. And so if you're that person that can handle that, because sometimes it can be a total show,
Yeah.
right? Then yeah, I think people are definitely they're needing a guide through that because it's
And
happening.
I think that those of us that are tapped into, our spiritual levels at any aspect realize that as we continue to grow, that we're going to go through that metamorphosis at every single level. And it's never the same, and everyone sucks, and we know we have to do it, and we get to come out the other side changed and like on fire for life. Like we both just had some massive up leveling. Both Jen and I did. It's fun to watch Jen go through it. And I'm glad it's not exactly at the same time, because man, it's tough. Right? Like
Oh yeah.
super tough, and you need that support of somebody else if you don't realize what's going on, or you don't catch it, like when that cocoon starts happening, right? And those threads start forming around us, because they're like, it's time.
You're giving me shivers all over.
Right? And we need that support, Sharon, and it's people like you that can survive and provide that support for people, because it also takes an extremely strong, very guarded. I'm saying that, I mean that, like, you guard your own energy field while you are still like expanding and allowing the protection of the person that you're supporting. That's what I mean by guarded. Like we have to make sure that we guard ourselves as that support person, whatever that looks like. So that our energy, because it's not our time, we don't get to get sucked into their transformation. We get to support it. And there's people like Sharon that just that's really, really cool. I'm gonna catch her. She's been chit-chatting here on the side. She's chit-chatting, we're just going on. It's a cool niche, but in the same time, it's very broad, because I'm able to help in all areas of personal, business, and financial. But it's really not. You're pretty niche down, Sharon. You're pretty niche down. Let's see. She likes metamorphosis to me is about growing through. That is inside us. And transformation is more of a tear down and replace or rebuild what was there. Interesting. That again. I put that on the screen. Metamorphosis is more about growing through that is inside of us. And transformation is more of a tear down and replace or rebuild what was there. I know, I just got to sit with that for a second. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool that there's a differentiation for you, Sharon, in that. Would you love, and then her next one is, you would love what I've named my style and will be my official company name. Well, what is it?
Yes, and the reveal.
Come on.
Let us know.
Let us know. Like we're all over here like chit-chatting and talking you up. Yeah. And let us know how we can support you. You know what I mean? Like, what does it look like to support you? Because that's what we're here for too, is to figure out how to support each other. And that's a big thing that I've been jumping both feet into, is massive support. Like, what does it look like for us to support you? And some of the companies that I've been brought on board with, we're all about that it's called joint ventureship out in the big world, joint venture relationships. And it's all about, how can I help you? And let me go first with offering. And this is what it looks like when we support you, if you'd like us to. And it's so cool. It's so cool. I'm getting ready to jump on a trip with 460 some people for a 10-day excursion. to develop those relationships. And it's all about, how can we help you? How can I support you? What does it look like? Right? And it doesn't matter what your business is. It's all about the relationship forming, which lines up so well with this right here. It lines up so well with what we do, Jen. It like answers like the cellulars inside of me. It like answers it, like, because I'm all about, hey, come on, you can join. Come on, we got room for you. We'll just make the circle a little bit bigger. Come on.
We have to belong, right? We do. We always we need that connection. We need it. We need it badly because we need support, number one. And as we grow, we need to be able to connect with the different people doing different things at different times. And we need different information to support us too, right? Because
Sure.
the information's passing through such a high speed now that we learn stuff and then we're like on to the next, like, hey, and we're hungry for it too. But at the same time, we do support you in taking the time that you need to really transmute that energy as well, because it needs to get moved to a different state as well.
Yeah.
Just like, you gotta, just like in that alchemy thing where you're changing, coal to gold, like you can do that in your life, and you can take these, just like I thought angels woke me up this morning, but it was Amazon. Like I literally told myself that, and I had dreams about angels, and it was like I just set myself up for some like serious goodness, but it was just the books.
I love it though.
I don't know. It's just like what you're telling yourself is really, what you're creating in your life. And yeah, we just want you to make a big fat gold mine. And it does. It takes a lot of effort and it takes time and space and energy. So you got to support yourself in that.
You got to go through the heat. You gotta go through the heat. Yeah. Those, diamonds aren't formed without a lot of pressure and a lot of heat and a lot of energy and a lot of, right. And yeah. And gold's not formed from coal without a lot of pressure and a lot of heat and a lot of friction.
Yes. And time. Yeah.
And lots of time. So like, let's take that and like roll forward with time with these, millionaires overnight kind of thing. And I, had the $100,000 launch and my first time out, and that's what you hear, and you hear it. And then we start setting the bar, and that's right. Like we compare ourselves to that. And is that really truth? Right? Like, is that really truth? Like, here's me. How much money went into that? How much time, sweat, and tears went into that? How many did they not tell us about that they launched before that just fell flat and they had nobody sign up?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. How many years have you been in business for
How
real?
many years have you been in business? Right?
Yeah.
Like all of that comes into play. And the comparitis.
Well, and I've seen stories change over time too, like where, it took me a year to make 100,000, first year in business. And it's like, yeah, but I've seen you say you've been in business for 4 years. Like, what are you talking about? And yeah, so I mean, just being honest about what's going on. But I mean, honestly, that like there's no book that tells you how to like just go and make the money. And that's why I'm focusing on that this year. I want to know how to make the money that supports my family and myself, like in a really good way, and not out of greed. It's out of love for what I want to do. And I know if I give it that right kind of attention, like on the content, that I can produce what I am looking for. So and then that takes me removing the actual goal and just sitting with what I'm doing. So yeah, I get all way too cosmic on it. And then the goals are just like, hey, my year goal planner is just like, well, I can move that around and I can do that a little differently. Like, I don't know, Erin.
It depends on what the end goal is.
Yeah. True.
It depends on what your end goal is. Because there's something to be said for, my head keeps going back to the metamorphosis that we were talking about earlier. And I know Sharon's commenting over there on the side, but how so many of us retreat and we take a step back because it's too hard. We take a step back because it's too hot. We take a step back because it's too uncomfortable. We take a step back.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of going, yep, I'm going to go through this. It's going to be hot. It's going to be tight. I'm going to not like one bit of it. It's going to be lots of friction. I have no idea what's going to look like on the other side, but man, this is going to happen because I've done it so many times before. I just didn't realize that's what was happening, but I'm sick of taking a step back and waiting for it.
Yeah, and the waiting for it, that doesn't even happen. Like, it doesn't happen. But Erin, like, let's just talk about that for a second. Like, how many times did you go on live and make a total fool of yourself? Like, I know I did. I did like 6 months of foolery, like doing stupid things with my face, and like the lighting was terrible, and just...
Well, but it goes farther than that. Like, you don't even plan what you're saying. Like, you don't even have an idea about the why that you're going live. So I've watched it 100 times. If I've watched it once, that Simon Sinek TED Talk that I put in the group last week about people buy why you do what you do, not what you do.
Yeah.
So when we talk about going live, why are you going live? Is it because it's planned? Is it because in your head you're like, well, I said I was going to go live every Wednesday for the year.
Yeah.
And it's Wednesday and I want to go live.
Yeah.
Because I want to keep that commitment. But I have no idea what I'm going to say and I have no really purpose for doing it. And I don't really want to. But I'm going to do it because I said I was going to do it. It's not really the right reason to do it. Like, there has to be some kind of like deep in your soul, cellular drive and some kind of message that you're going to deliver and why you want to deliver it, not what you're delivering. It's why. Why are you delivering and how are you showing up, right? The what, how, the why, what, the how, why, how, what.
Yeah.
Yep.
The golden rule.
The golden rule.
And before, like, I'd go live, like Badassery did an open call. You can do lives whenever you want. Or in the sacred, I think it was Tribe of Trapezoids. You go live on Wednesday. Same with Light Beamers. You can go live on Wednesdays. You can go live in the lustrous ones whenever you want.
Whenever you want.
Yeah. But yeah.
Go live anytime you want.
I didn't even put on anything that would respect my audience. Like, I stayed in my hoodie and I would just wear whatever I wanted. And that wasn't respecting the people I was even talking to. Like, I didn't care because I didn't care. And then I would just go on and be like, hey, I'm Jen and I make websites and I do cool design and I talk to spirit guides, and then that was it, though. I didn't really have a purpose. I'm just saying who I am. But that wasn't really what I should, like, I guess I should have been, because it took a lot to even get me to the point of being able to say it out loud.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that is what I needed to be able to just show up in a way and stare at a camera and not feel like a total tool, really. So you have to get over the nerves. You have to be able to say who you are and what you do out loud. But then it's way beyond that. What are the things that you actually believe in? What is the message that you're bringing? What can you impart on your audience that's really brilliant? Doesn't even have to be brilliant. Just like it needs to like be from the heart. So that makes it brilliant, right?
Yeah. And here's the thing too. Like, it totally comes off to your audience. They know if you're talking from your why.
Yeah.
Instead of, here, buy my shit.
Yeah.
Right?
I've never once said that because I'm just not like that, but
and it's funny because relationships are formed from the why, not the what. also. So when you're reaching out and you're making new connections and you're growing your community, right? Like why do you send friend requests to people in the first place? Is it because you have 67 people in common? Or because what they do?
Most of the time it's because I'm just like seriously, there's an attraction to them, to their picture or something about them that's coming through in their picture. They've taken it in the moment where they are who they are, authentically, and I can just like see it.
Yeah.
And that's when I friend somebody. I'm not a big friend requester, but there's some people like that I will go out and request and be like, okay, this is creepy because I don't do this often, but your picture is amazing. What do you do? And then I end up, and on their Insta feed too, and finding out what they do, and they're artists and they're this and they're that. I'm like, oh my God, you're awesome. Yeah. This is great.
Yeah. See, and I'm all about the relationships, and I'm all about growing that, growing the circle, right? And when I see somebody, like, I don't send friend requests very often either. But when I see somebody run across, you might like, or you might know, and we have 50, 60, 70, 100 friends in common.
Yeah.
Why aren't we friends already?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I actually found myself yesterday going, oh my gosh, look at all these people. I actually just yesterday sent probably 5 or 6. And I'm like, oh my gosh, we have so many cool mutual friends in common. How come we're not friends already? Yeah. That was my high to our people. It's not, here, buy my stuff.
Yeah.
Hey, did you see I'm launching? I think you should be on my thing, right? Like, it wasn't any of that. It was, oh my gosh, we have so many mutual friends. How come we're not already friends?
Yeah.
It just seems natural that, or you go look at their profile and it's like, oh my gosh, you're an author, you're a speaker, you got all of these things going on, and you got an awesome, cool profile, like, yeah. Right?
Yeah.
Like, look at all the cool stuff you got going on. How come we're not friends?
Yeah. Yeah, because you want to have more friends that are doing the things that you love to do and like that inspires you, right? Like, definitely grow that circle, because it's really rewarding to be in relationships with people that, also love what you love. Like, it's really good.
And that goes back to, you are who you surround yourself with, right?
Yeah.
I mean, how long have you heard that?
Well, Janine Masai brought it up on one of our shows, and I was like, yeah, that's so true.
Even go back to like elementary school, right?
Yeah.
Even go back that far when you're just starting to make friends. Like, who do you want to hang out with? Bring it into now.
Yeah.
Who do you want to surround yourself with? Good, strong, positive people that clearly are, standing in their integrity and doing the work and putting the time in, and right?
Yeah.
It has for me, it has nothing to do with, oh, you capped $100,000 so I can be your friend now.
Yeah. Can you imagine?
I have a parameter on friends. I only have a few friend slots left.
Yeah.
And those are saved for the people that are over $200,000 a year.
Yeah.
Do you meet the mark? Like, here's your application to be one of my next 3 friends. Right?
Okay. Oh shit.
Like, come on. Like, let's make friends the way we're supposed to make friends, and let's like be real about it, and let's grow your tribe, grow your friend list, grow your community, whatever you call it. Grow it the way you should grow it. Grow it on purpose and surround yourself. That's what we do. We like to surround ourselves. Our group is awesome.
Yeah, and there's like 10 people waiting to get in, and I like haven't been to work, and I've been getting client work done over Christmas, but I'm like, anything else?
It's a hard yes, Sharon. I really have to decide long and hard.
Oh my gosh, yes.
I love it.
Oh, funny. Yeah, but that's just it, eh?
Yeah.
Long gone are the like super clicky people. Like you can stuff it clicky people.
Yeah, like I'm not about it.
Yeah.
I'm not about it at all. I don't, I, you know, I think that we're pretty welcoming in our community. We love it when you guys like share the Illustrious Ones group out with people that you like, don't like just add them. Like,
Yeah.
like don't add them because we have questions, onboarding questions in there in the gallery on purpose so that we make sure that what we offer in the group actually will support them and vice versa. So like if you don't answer all the questions, you don't get in. If we don't feel like you're a good fit for the group, we send you a really nice response saying, I'm sorry, but I don't think you're a good fit. But we only grow because you guys tell people how awesome the group is, right?
Yeah.
We love it. We can't support you unless we know what you're doing. So get in there and show yourself off. Go live. Tell us what you got going on. Put posts in there.
I think we forgot to even mention that this is coming off of the Illustrious Ones business page. And if you did want to comment on this, Sharon obviously knows what's going on, but yeah, you'd have to go over to our business page to comment. But yeah, we stream every Monday on our business page, and it does go into the group. I don't know, did it get in the group today?
Yep, I put it in the group.
Awesome. Yeah. And yeah, this is just a really fun way for us to keep up on the news that's happening currently in our lives. So we do, even though we say don't go on live with no purpose. We are doing this live. We sort of decide the morning of what we're going to talk about, but we are collecting information the whole week too. I'm always reading different posts and being inspired by so many different people. And I love talking about them, and they're almost always in the group. So, and there's always books and there's always information. So, I mean, that's where I draw a lot of my information from people's posts. So that's a great way to get my attention.
Yeah.
So we can talk about it because it's currently what's happening now, and that's an innovation in self-love and growth, and growth has everything to do from mindset to structure to technology to what the hell do I do when my mic's not working and I'm getting feedback on my lives, like we can answer those questions. Erin's bomb at answering those questions, and I could answer a lot of SEO questions and a lot of technology questions, but together we're talking a lot about growth and being able to support ourselves through some serious growth. So yeah, we love to talk about these things.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely.
Yeah, and it's very Sharon's apologizing. I don't know if we're going to accept her apology or not, but
Yeah,
don't crazy in here this morning.
No, it's good.
We love it, Sharon. We love all of it. I'm going to talk for both of us on that one.
Yeah. Oh, I love crazy. You have no idea.
I know. And here's the thing. It's all about, this group and this platform. We're live today on StreamYard, which is I'm trialing it's in its beta form. I'm actually going to have one of the co-creators of StreamYard on the Erin Strayer show tomorrow. So if you guys are thinking at all about if you teach in any way, shape, or form with a video to your people, this isn't for like recording. This will go live to either YouTube. It'll go live to Twitch. It'll go live to obviously Facebook. And you can put it wherever you want. So if you teach inside of your group specifically, this is a fantastic platform. It's much like Be Live. It's much like Ecamm. For streaming, it just has some other options that those two platforms don't have, and I'm in their beta testing process with them. So, Gage will be on with us on my show tomorrow, talking about it and what they offer. But it's pretty cool. But you guys, we're here to help you. Again, we're just looping back around in that. And what else do we got to talk about this morning? Anything you want to talk about?
Gage from Vancouver. Like, I knew a Gage in when I lived downtown.
He's in Canada. He's from Canada. He's from Canada. But
Is he blonde and very small?
No, he is a little itty bitty guy. But he's adorable. He's mid-20s.
Okay.
Like seriously, I could be his mom, but he's adorable as the day is long, and he's just this brilliant young kid that saw a need and a hole in live streaming, and he and his roommate from college started messing around and playing to find an alternative. So this is what they came up with, and it's maybe been out 3 months, maybe.
Okay, I just have to say, I'm just gonna say I love young people, and I got to hang out with some teenagers when I was back home, and I just love like their minds. They're just so open to new things, and they're brilliant. Like, I don't know, I just mad love to the young community.
Brilliant.
Yeah, really, truly.
And they really get a lot more recognition than I think we choose not to give them.
Yep.
Times. You know,
totally.
And they're innovative and they're far more advanced than I am. And I'm like, you know what? Help me.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I'm so there with you. And yeah, I didn't get a stitch of credit when I was a kid for how smart I was. And I don't think I didn't know how to use it. Certainly didn't fit in academia at all. And so, yeah, right now, I just want to give all the credit right to them, because I know where they're at in their brains and their expansion, and I just love it. It's just so good.
Yeah. Yeah. His training and his background is in electrical engineering, believe it or not, but he has a huge tech, one of those crazy tech, you know, he just has always been in it, always been in it. And, his, partner, in business partner, I think is mechanical, but they both have this huge tech desire and need and want. And yeah, he's just got a hot head of curly hair, and like it's just like this fluffy mess, and he's just adorable as the day is long. And I just love talking to him. So yeah, I know.
Yay, young people.
I know. Bring your smarts on, you know. It's like, come on, let it rip.
That's brilliant.
Yeah. Sharon's like, young ones don't know any better, or get the old folks like me that don't care anymore.
Right? I stopped caring. It's like, you're going to have me world the way I want you to see me.
I know. Cool. Well, you guys, we've been, this is Monday Morning Show with Jen and Erin. We're going to wrap it up and get on with our days today. We go live every Monday on our platform here. And if you got something to say or want us to talk about, make sure you message either one of us or stick it in the group. And who knows if one of your posts we get talked about just because we want to and we think it's fun. Totally. We keep it real. This is all about community and support. And this platform also supports our directory of awesomeness, our collective membership that we have going on. So if you're interested in that, reach out to us. We'll put the links in here when we're done. That drives traffic. This show drives traffic to that. So we love growing that community and supporting those people that are in there. So anything from you, Miss Jen Weatherly?
No, I look forward to this next week, and we'll see how my planning and strategizing has worked, and we'll get back together on Monday, and I can't wait to see you next Monday. Yeah.
Awesome. Consistent action. One thing at a time. Awesome. You guys, we really appreciate you hanging out with us this Monday morning. Go get another cup of coffee or tea or wherever you're at in your world and hit your week off solid, strong, and filled with all kinds of goodness. And we'll see you right back here next week.
Bye.